Airplanes up all over the country. I saw him in Austin. Incredible job, Ted Anderson. What do you think of Glenn Beck exiting Fox?
Well, you know, that's another thing.
We found out about that at dinner, didn't we, months ago?
Yeah, you know, that's true. So.
Oh, did we say too much?
Yeah, I guess we did.
No, we didn't. We didn't say anything. I'm really bummed out about it. As bad as he is going after me behind the scenes and on air, I dislike George Soros even more. George Soros is going to be very pleased right now. Ted Anderson, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back with Max Keiser and the latest Libya news.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633.
You may be arrested and/or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cameras, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it. Others don't.
We've got it. This transmission is coming to you.
Waging war on corruption.
All right, you are go.
It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the info war.
You've got it.
Steve Watson. It's up on PrisonPlanet.com, also GCNLive.com. Ron Paul, New World Order using financial crisis, wars to enhance globalism, to set up a world government. Key article at GCNLive.com. Another one, Ron Paul, gold commodity prices, big events, signaling economic collapse. GCNLive.com. Nuclear emergency decisions. That's up on GCNLive.com. Japan nuclear plant workers discuss choices to sacrifice his life. GCNLive.com. FEMA training to stop people like you. Key article, GCNLive.com. North Carolina SB 31 bill seeks to turn healers into felons. Another article at GCNlive.com from the Economic Collapse, How to Find a Job, Just Be Willing to Flip Burgers and Work for Minimum Wage. Gold hits new record at $1,460+ an ounce, and just incredible information on that front. Continuing with Ron Paul, one reason Max Keiser is joining us for the last 25 minutes of the transmission here in a moment. Ron Paul to highlight pet themes with U.S. Mint hearing. Here's another headline, Silver moving towards $40 an ounce as Ron Paul to investigate the U.S. Mint. And Keiser is here to discuss that with us and a lot more. The Saudi government saying oil to hit $200 to $300 a barrel. Basically, if the globalists try to overthrow them. That's out of Reuters. Also, the New York Times, USA Today, The Hill, Politico all picked up Ron Paul's interview here yesterday saying, yeah, he's pretty much going to announce in the next month whether he's going to run or not, and that he's putting a token in that he's going to probably go ahead and be part of the debate. So he's running, folks. You heard it here first. Big news across the country. We appreciate Matt Drudge for linking it as well at drudgereport.com. Now, here's the latest Libya news before we go to Max Keiser. Gaddafi, in letter, asked Obama to end airstrikes, says, you are a man who has enough courage to annul a wrong and mistake taken. He went on to say, we were under attack by al-Qaeda forces, as you know. Why are you backing the terrorist network? He's been saying that for 5 weeks, and now it's confirmed all over the news that al-Qaeda is the core. And rebel leaders the U.S. is backing are people that sent mujahideen, as they call them, into Iraq to kill U.S. soldiers. And you're called anti-military, anti-American if you don't worship al-Qaeda now. And if you don't like Ammar al-Awlaki hanging out secretly at the Pentagon, #2 in al-Qaeda, #1 if you believe the New York Times. I mean, we're supposed to just ignore all this like we're idiots because it's too scary with the comfort bubble what's that term? People have this normalcy bias where I heard Beck talking about this. We've talked about it a lot, but I'm glad he was telling some truth now, unfortunately getting his show on Fox phased out. But he was saying people on the Titanic just went back to their staterooms. We couldn't be sinking, even as it was listing at a 45-degree angle. People on 9/11 said, I'm going back to my office. I'm going to go turn my computer off. They'd go up 20 floors and die. And we're here breaking this down. This doesn't have to happen. We don't have to go over this cliff. And it shows that the globalists are really moving into their end game, but we've been prepared for this warning, people being laughed at for decades. Now people aren't laughing, they're really listening. Everywhere I go, big wigs, mainline business people that laughed at me years ago run up and say, you're right, this is really happening. People that don't even know who I am are talking about the collapse coming, the Federal Reserve engineering it. Wall Street and its criminal activities, its non-free market vertical integration of the economy through government controls is really being exposed. They're trying to make us fight with each other via the left-right paradigm, but more and more it's not working. And now is the time to scream bloody murder and get this information out like never before, because the quickening is here, the acceleration, the amplification is here, and people have never been more ready to hear the truth. So it's on. We're in the New World Order, toe-to-toe with the globalists. We got a fighting chance. They just want to arrogantly throw all this in our face, hide it in plain view, and think that we'll just go along with it. We got to break the trance. Now, Max Keiser joins us. He's the inventor of the Hollywood Stock Exchange virtual trading system used in major stock markets worldwide, a very successful retired stockbroker in his own right, journalist with the BBC, RT, Al Jazeera, Press TV, Genesis on Saturday mornings. You name it, he does it, maxkeiser.com. And we wanted to get Max on to talk about what Ron Paul's doing, his move for investigations, the testimony he's going to be leading tomorrow in the House, what's happening with silver. It's on, as Max said to me during the break. Max Keiser, break down what you see happening.
Well, we've totally got him. We've totally got him, Alex. And this Bernie von Nothaus case is J.P. Morgan is totally desperate. Their stock price now is directly under assault by the rising price of silver. And tomorrow, of course, is the 7th of April, 4/7, which is the atomic number of silver. And this is the formal recognition of the Silver Liberation Army, the SLA. And that is one of the best ideas for a Google bomb I ever heard, the Silver Liberation Army. is going to take all the silver off the market necessary to completely bankrupt the banksters. This Bernie von Nuthouse case, JPM is in the nut house. We're going to put J.P. Morgan in the nut house. It's absolutely outrageous that they would go after this guy.
By the way, it's pronounced Note House. He corrected me, but I guess you can call it Nut House if you want. But the issue here is even the Wall Street Journal, even AP said this makes regular barter illegal. They didn't even have a law. They just had a servile jury who probably have IQs below room temperature.
Well, the $7 million in silver that they're trying to grab from citizens is directly going to be used to offset J.P. Morgan's short silver position. That's how desperate they are. They're scrambling for silver in the open market, and they can't get it. You've got guys in Canada and all over the United States who are taking physical off the market.
So you're saying you believe what you launched here 3-4 months ago and what others picked up on, tens of thousands of videos, sites, you're saying that the crash J.P. Morgan buy silver has now gone into terminal velocity, it's now gone into point of no return, and that they are scrambling? Yes, because the J.P. Morgan has put up their own stock as collateral against these shorts. And that means that when the price gets above 47, as you see, it's now almost 40. Once it gets over 47, J.P. Morgan's going to fall like a house of cards. This is going to be an unbelievable spectacle to watch this $160 million colossus, this financial terrorist, the two terrorists, get totally decimated right before our eyes. Now, we get calls saying, well, they'll just print money and paper and throw it at it, but everybody's... Okay, what's Ron Paul saying? Ron Paul saying no more. He's going to put a line in the sand. No more paper money. You've got Utah going to gold and silver standard. You've got 5 states now going to precious metal standard. Ron Paul standing up saying no more. J.P. Morgan's being carried on a stretcher. They're done. All right, I want to give you the floor. I want to give you the floor to go over this. I'm not disagreeing with you. Explain to people, though, that only a fraction of the silver needs to be physically held, and then that calls their bluff on their paper manipulation. Explain the technicals of that, and then you got the floor. Well, for every ounce that somebody buys of silver, J.P. Morgan sells 20 to 50 ounces of silver that don't exist. It's called naked short selling. That's the bottom line. They sell silver that doesn't exist. It's naked short selling. They've sold more than, by some estimates, 3 billion ounces short, but more than 1 billion, certainly, and that's the entire silver stock above ground. They've sold short more stock than exists above ground, and they're on the floor every day manipulating the price. Every time someone shows up to buy 1 ounce of silver, J.P. Morgan tries to sell 10 as a naked short sale, silver that they don't own. But at the end of the month, the books have to be squared. The COMEX has to physically deliver. Just a few days ago, the COMEX came once again within a hair's breadth of collapsing due to physical delivery. Every month gets closer and closer. And now, with what's happening with the Silver Liberation Army, which is being launched globally around the world, we're going to take what's remaining of that silver out of the physical stock, off the physical market, and we're going to put, J.P. Morgan 6 feet under. They're the terrorists. They're the ones financing Gaddafi. They're the ones financing Al-Qaeda. They're the ones financing the financial terrorists on Wall Street. By the way, that did come out. That did come out when Bernanke, for several years, didn't want to release where the trillions in bailout went. A lot of it, most of it went to Europe and private corporations, but some of it did go to Gaddafi. Absolutely. Through the back-end machinations and the financial pipelines conducted primarily by Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So now it's coming to the surface, but this Silver Liberation Army, this global force of physical buyers, is striking a blow for freedom. And we're going to have the joy of watching for our own spectacle the collapse of this colossal terrorist, J.P. Morgan. And the price has now run away. The price of silver is running away like wild dogs. Can't stop it anymore. People are taking it off the market. The more they take it off the market, the higher it's going to go. And this is a fantastic wealth transfer. They stole our wealth. Now we're taking it back. And that gives us the wherewithal to rebuild this entire economy and rebuild this entire political system with smart people like Ron Paul in charge who can bring back all of the freedoms that people had before these bankster terrorists took them away. Now, how do you expect Morgan to try to stop this from happening? I mean, even mainstream news is now saying the COMEX could default. You're correct on that, but what are the exact numbers that'll happen at 47? When do you expect that to happen, or do you think they could successfully drive it back down? How is the empire going to strike back?